President Trump's made big changes on two boards that advise the Defense Department. Sitting members of the Defense Business Board and the Defense Policy Board lost their seats, and the president gave them to supporters of his. Michael Baer is president and CEO of Dumbarton Strategies, former chair of the Defense Business Board appointed by Ash Carter. David Walker is former Comptroller General of the United States, former member of the Defense Business Board appointed by Mark Esper. Gentlemen, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Michael, I start with you. What is the Defense Business Board exactly, and what does your former board and the other advisory boards do, and for whom, sir?
Well, it's a group, thank you, Frank, for asking. It's a terrific group of people, all volunteers. They don't get paid, and they're outside experts to advise the department on best business practices. A number of years ago, the department really led the world in innovative business practices, and some great innovations occurred at the department. Today, however, the department is really trailing the highly competitive business world, and it has used, that is the department, has used the board for the outside expertise that comes. CEOs and like David, who have profound experience and provide advice that the department frankly couldn't even buy.
David, welcome. How did you find out about your removal and the removal of your colleagues from the board?
Well, I and 8 other members of the Defense Business Board received an email, I think it was on a Friday afternoon, and thanking us for our service, noting that either our terms had expired or would soon set to expire. Keep in mind that each member serves a 1-year term, which can be renewed, and mine was set to expire within the next month. But it was a total surprise, and we have no idea why they chose to replace 9 of us and not the balance of the board.
And that's where I wanted to go next, David. What's historically the transition on this board look like? What happens when times generally expire? Is there a protocol for the transition that maybe was different this time than in the past?
Well, I'll make a brief comment, and then Michael may want to comment because he was the chairman and has obviously been on many, many years. It's normal when you have a change in administration, which we're clearly going to have, for the new president and the new secretary to look at the membership of these type boards and think about what, if any, changes. What is not normal is when you have an outgoing administration to make these kinds of changes within the last 2 months of their administration, and to appoint people who, in some cases, not in all cases, clearly don't meet the qualifications as outlined for the board.
Michael, what does an ideal member of the board have in terms of qualifications and credentials, and what's different in your view about the people that are going to be on the board appointed by President Trump?
These boards require a lot of work. In the last 12 months, the Defense Business Board members, including David, have done 4 really important pieces of research and product, which involved 750 pages of written materials. The members, David and all of them, did that, all for not pay. And so the combination of being willing to sacrifice the time and energy, and most of all, having really in-depth experiences in large organizations at scale, in the C-suite and in the governance activities for those boards or companies, really uniquely qualified for service on this board. If you're going to provide advice to the world's largest business activity, the Department of Defense, at $740 billion a year, you really have to understand how large-scale enterprises function. So that's the key criteria, a combination of time, availability, and experience.
David, Michael told Politico when this story first broke, this kind of move really will weigh heavily on people in the future and their willingness to serve on these outside advisory boards if they're going to be subjected to political loyalty tests. Do you share that sentiment, David?
Well, the board needs to operate in a professional, objective, fact-based, non-partisan, non-ideological, and results-oriented fashion. And I'm not sure what the criteria were that these people were appointed. Let me be clear. There are some of the people who were appointed who may well be qualified, but clearly some of the ones that don't come close. And so I think it's important that we operate, as I mentioned, professional, objective, fact-based, non-partisan, non-ideological, results-oriented. And the president and the secretary can pick whoever they want, but they should be qualified and they should operate in accordance with that set of principles.
David Walker, Michael Baer, thanks very much for your time today, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Francis.